Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, now I'm going to be covering the last week of September, which is September 22nd through the 30th. And remember, I am speaking about where all the planets are relative to where the moon is transiting. Because the moon is the public. It is the emotions of the people. And that's what we're talking about in this, where we're going as a consciousness, as a conscious awareness here. So I'm talking about Central Daylight Time. I'm here in Dallas, Texas, and I just want you to know that this is going to be an intense last week. Okay, so remember, put down in the comments where you're from. I love to always look at where everybody's tuning in from all over the world. But this is the most intense week. So let's get going here. I'm looking at Monday, September 22nd. And it's the day after the solar eclipse. The moon is still in Virgo. And it's going to be right in the middle of Virgo all day in the nakshatra Hasta. Well, Hasta is the hand. It takes hold. It takes charge. It means it's a good day for grasping information. But the moon is exactly on top of Mercury today. Mercury is exalted in Virgo. But it's going to be a very mentally stimulating day. But I find that when you put the moon and Mercury together, it sometimes is way too much energy. And what I'm trying to say is we tend to overthink things when the moon and Mercury are together. At least it's going to be detailed work because Mercury in Virgo is its exaltation sign. It's strong-minded, but don't overthink. Make up your mind and move on. Now, Mars is in the second house from the moon, so be careful what you say. Also, be careful of your spending, because that means you can be very reckless and or impulsive and impatient with your spending. Now, Venus K2 in the 12th house from the moon represents very profound and vivid dreams. Pay attention to them. Jupiter in the 10th house from the moon, this is good for work and maybe getting promotions, doing well with your boss or your employees. But we still have Saturn and Neptune opposing the moon and the sun. So this is kind of a heavy day. We're just coming out of the heaviness from this eclipse, I believe. So now I'm moving forward to September 23rd, which is a Tuesday, and the moon is still in Virgo. It's in the last part of Virgo it's in the nakshatra of Chitra. And Chitra is the nakshatra that is the bright, shining one. It deals with, it's an amazing nakshatra, really. It deals with the arts and writing, creative writing, all of those type of things. It's very action-packed. We are moving into the creative phase of the waxing moon, which means initiating things, moving forward, getting things done. And Mars is still in the second house from the moon, which means be careful what you say and be careful about your spending. Don't be impulsive. And as the moon moves forward, things will progressively start to get better. Still, it's a time of vivid dreams, and Jupiter in the 10th from the moon is fantastic around the workplace. If you're wanting to get a raise, you could ask. This is the time with the moon increasing in light and Jupiter in the 10th house. It's a great time to get what you want out of your workplace. So now I'm looking at September 24th, and the moon is in Libra, and it is conjunct Mars. This is called the Chandra Mangala Yoga, which means Moon Mars. And this can be kind of treacherous. It's known for business success, but let me go into another layer of what's going on today, and that is that Mars being at 7 degrees today with the moon is squaring Pluto, and it's in a quincunx to Uranus. And actually, Mars and the moon are actually forming a yod. Today is a day of treacherous things going on. Even though the moon is increasing in light, look out, today is dangerous because of these aspects of Mars. And the moon actually is a trigger today. It's in the nakshatra Swati, and Swati is a very difficult nakshatra. Even though it deals with business sense and things of that nature, things can be treacherous today. And normally the moon in Swati with Mars might be a good day to begin business affairs. But I think today is very, very difficult in the effect that there is a major yod between Mars and Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. And yods mean the finger of God, means that something fated around this time is due to happen. This is very difficult today. And I happen to notice that the sun is even 7 degrees. And the sun being 7 degrees, it's pretty much yesterday and today is opposing Uranus. So expect the unexpected, treachery, and with Mars being in this aspect to Neptune and Uranus and Pluto, expect the unexpected, expect maybe violence or war to break out or attacks of some nature, and it's going to be around this time. It may not even be exactly this day, but I think this is the day to look out for. But around this time, look out, there is major danger. So now I am looking at September 25th. And with that, we have so much going on. Even, from the day before, there was like a yod, a quincunx, and all that happening. Today, we're still reeling. There's nothing that's going to change that much in today. It's still really difficult. And even I noticed that the sun and Pluto yesterday and today are pretty much in a trinal aspect, and that connects those two planets intrinsically. And this deals with major unexpected changes. And well, actually, the sun yesterday and today creates a grand trine with Uranus and Pluto. Whoa! I gotta say, this is amazing, the things that are happening today. It's monumental, the September 24th and 25th, the changes that are appearing these days. It's incredible. With the leadership around the world, with presidents, things are really intense. And the moon being in the nakshatra Vishaka means the undefeated people are going to be so adamant about pushing their agendas and stepping on others to get what they want. Look out. I've never seen this many. I say that all the time, but this is really intense, full of major aspects. So now I'm looking at Friday, September 26th, and this day the moon has gone into Scorpio, and it's in the nakshatra Vishaka most of the day. And Vishaka is that undefeated one, that nakshatra that's going to overrule others to get what they want. But by around noontime, the moon does go into an easier nakshatra called Anuradha. Anuradha is known to be a nakshatra for friendship. But, looking at this moon, it's debilitated in Scorpio. It's in a difficult position. And not only that, Mars sits in the 12th house from the moon, which can mean secret enemies. And basically what I've seen is a lot of people around the workplace talking behind your back. That's what I've seen a lot with Mars in the 12th. That's what you can expect. And the moon in Scorpio, the whole time it's in Scorpio, will deal with jealousy. So be aware that this is going to be in due part of what's going on in the workplace. There's many changes within the workplace because K2 sits in the 10th house from the moon, even though Venus is there. So there are some niceties with work, but there's too much change and disruption going on in the planet for it to be settled and easy. This is a very turbulent time. The last week of this month, I've just got to say. Jupiter's in the 8th house from the moon. This would represent deep psychological changes going on in all of us. We're adjusting to the big changes that have hit, that have made this month so crazy. Now I'm looking at September 27th, this is a Saturday, and the moon is still in Scorpio, and it is in Anuradha still, and it will change. Anuradha is a easy nakshatra. It's about friendship and coming together with people, but by around 3 p.m., this is Dallas time, which is Central Daylight Time. The moon will go into the nakshatra Jyesta. And Jyesta is a nakshatra of, I gotta say, jealousy. It's a difficult nakshatra, but it does deal with empowerment, feeling power to change the different aspects of your life to get what you want. This is what it's good for. But all at the same time, it does deal with the deep trend towards jealousy. And with Mars being in the 12th house from the moon and ruling Scorpio, be aware that things are not as they appear and people are talking behind your back. And with the Sun, Mercury in the 11th house, this is a time of groups and organizations coming together for thought, for communication, to work things out, to think things out together. And Jupiter is in the 8th. It's a time for deep introspection. Now I am looking at Sunday, September 28th. And on this day, the moon is still in Scorpio, pretty much the whole day, but in the evening, it's going to shift into Sagittarius. But it is in the last degrees of Scorpio, so it is still in Jyesta. And Jyesta is the jealous one. But this is where the moon is going to be Gandanta right now, around 3 p.m. on September 28th. The moon is 28, almost 29 degrees. So in the next few hours, it will be Gandanta, meaning people are out of control emotionally at this time. And with Mars in the 12th, be aware of secret enemies. And with K2 in the 10th from the moon, things are changing quite rapidly around your workplace and around the world. Things are in an uproar, radical shifts and changes. And I'm going to say about 4 hours later, and I'm looking at, let me just pull this up. It will be, yes, almost 8 o'clock p.m. Let me see. No, wait, that's, no, that's 5. That's wrong. 6 p.m. Yeah, 1758 is really 6 p.m. And the moon shifts into Sagittarius and into the nakshatra Mula, which is a very self-destructive nakshatra, so be aware of that. It can deal with destruction. But altogether, the truth comes out when the moon goes into Sagittarius. Now the sun and Mercury sit in the 10th house from the moon, so it's a time of getting things together work-wise. And the moon is starting to really brighten up. We've got the quarter moon and it's waxing. So things are starting to move forward in forward direction. And Venus K2 in the 9th house is much better. That deals with our spiritual journey and search, and information that we seek is more along a spiritual line. Saturn's in the 4th house from the moon today, so be aware that things aren't right at home. Maybe your house is messy and difficult to deal with, that kind of thing. But check on your mother. If your mother's still around, she may need someone to listen to her. So now I am looking at, let me take this back to, all right, so now I'm looking at September 29th. And I am looking at around, well, it stays in Mula for quite some time. It's still in Mula until around 8 p.m. But the moon is in Sagittarius this whole day, still in the nakshatra Mula till 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And while it is in Sagittarius, there's an unfolding of truth, digging up, getting to the root and the cause and bottom of things. Remember, Mula's symbol is a root, so it means digging to the core essence to find things. And with the sun being in the 10th house from the moon, this is a time when you should shine in the workplace. With Mercury there, it's all about communications in your workplace that will get you promoted or advancement or success in your own work. Saturn, Neptune in the 4th, take care of your mother and or clean up your house, because it means things are in disarray and things are, there's a lot of confusion around the house. All right, let's go to the next day. Now I'm looking at the last day of the month. This is September 30th. It's a Tuesday. And I'm looking at the moon being in the nakshatra Purva Ashada, but it's still in Sagittarius most of the day. Yes, all of the day really, because yeah, it will stay in Sag, definitely. But what's nice about this day, and what a nice ending for the month, is that Jupiter and the moon are fully aspecting each other. This brings opportunities. It brings love. It brings romance. It brings connection and communications in partnerships and love. This is fantastic. And Purva Ashada is a great nakshatra. It's actually ruled by Venus. So this is a day for love and romance. And even Venus is in a trinal aspect from the moon. So this is the best day, finally, after all the turmoil, in terms of love and romance and relationships. But we still have the issues with the mother, if your mother's still around. And or, you know what I find, if your mother's not around, you'll be thinking about her or thinking about some of the struggles or relationship issues you had with your mom. Rahu's in the 3rd house, so if you have brothers or sisters, you might find that they're a little domineering on this day. But I gotta say, overall, this is a great day for relationship issues. If you want to meet someone, go out, go on a date, be social, and this would be the day that possibly there could be love or romance. And take care of your partners, because this is a lovely day, especially with Jupiter-Moon opposition. So this covers the whole month of September. What a month. It's this last week, I gotta say, I don't know when things are gonna be happening, but I'd say onward from really the 21st, and particularly the 24th is, 23rd and 24th are the most severe. And then we have the 25th is probably cleanup from everything that's been going on this intense month. I keep telling you, October will be better. So with that, I think I'll close. Remember, if you'd like to learn more about me, go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Thank you.